Joe in Wilmette, Illinois, listening on WCPT. Hey, Joe, what's up?
Yes, good morning. I just wanted to expand on some things you had brought up a lot yesterday, especially regarding the Chamber of Commerce and so many of these business owners that are so staunchly hardcore Republican and actually really just very anti-democratic, very anti-liberal, anti-progressive. And we as patriotic Americans are just exploited extensively by them. And we just need something to go beyond this Buy American clause, which is such a bitter pill, just because so many of these business owners really don't like us don't like the systems that we advocate for.
Well, it's not so much that, Joe. It's not malice. It's greed.
Well, people I know, it's actually malice when you talk to them. And some of the history of it started with the auto business when they were being overtaken by Japanese marketers. And the automobile industry was full of very, regressive people that, were discriminatory about how they franchised dealerships, how they treated buyers that were people of diversity. And even prior to that, during the Vietnam War, the labor unions were out there beating up protesters, calling us communists and
hippies,
other insults. And even today, they have to be dragged, kicking and screaming, to create diversity in the trade unions.
But that's
I'm just saying that we need to try to focus on something where we have like a buy smart and really try to make these.
Why don't we just have a trade policy that favors American manufacturers, like we had from the George Washington administration to the Reagan administration?
I think that's part of the problem when so many of the people that are running commerce don't like our policies and do everything they can to
But we the people, we're the voters. We put people in. This is what's so dangerous about Donald Trump, is that he's saying, I'm going to change the trade policies to favor American manufacturers. Now, that's something most Americans want. And he's boiling it down very simple. He's saying it in a very straightforward fashion. He's got plenty of examples to point to. And if the Democrats don't pick this thing up and run with it and say, back in 1996 when NAFTA was passed, it was passed with a majority of Republican votes. It was a minority of Democratic votes. When the Korean Free Trade Agreement was passed, it was passed with a majority of Republican votes and a minority of Democratic votes. You can blame Bill Clinton for signing these pieces of legislation, but these were Republican bills. They were pushed by Republicans. These trade deals, the only one of the trade deals where you had a majority of Democrats going along with the majority of Republicans was the permanent normal trade relations with China. But even there, you had far more Republicans in favor of it than Democrats. But all the rest of these trade deals have been majority Democrat opposed, and that message needs to get out there. I mean, this is one of the make your head explode big lie things that Donald Trump was doing yesterday, is he's saying, basically this policy that Republicans have been pursuing since the 1980s. Arguably since before that, but aggressively since that time, these policies are destroying the American middle class, and I'm going to change them. And everybody goes, "Oh, isn't that wonderful?" And all the Republican donors go, "Oh, look, everybody's going to vote for him." And once he gets into office, do you think that he's really going to do something on behalf of the working people of this country? No way. The guy's a billionaire. He's representing the billionaire class. That's why he's there. Anyway. No,
of course, and we want a good. American supportive economy.
We need to change our trade policies. We need to repudiate these experiments, right? This giant, the American version of the euro. These free trade experiments. They have been disasters for the United States. And frankly, I would say in some ways they've been disasters for a number of other countries too, although China has certainly made out very well with them in Vietnam as well. But but that's not, as an American, that's frankly not my concern.
We are funding people that are advocating against us
You're right.
as much as they can.
You're right. But the change, you're not going to effectively be able to boycott that. You need to change the policy. And the policy changes are made by politicians. And that means getting involved in politics, and it means going beyond just the standard sound bites. And it's anyway, I'm starting to get redundant here, Joe.
I'm just saying that we need to really do something where like-minded business owners see how they can profit from us, and those that are against us can start seeing how their positions can be harmful to their businesses.
Well, this is the problem with libertarian theology, is that it assumes that in order to have a, quote, free market, everybody has full information. And the fact of the matter is that the Republicans have been pushing legislation and rules that would, and in fact, now that you've got even the WTO ruled against us on this, that say that we can no longer even label our meat as to its country of origin. So there is no way for consumers to launch a boycott because the information is being denied to them. And that's why it needs to be done at the level of policy. We need to get legislators who are not in the pocket of big industry. And that's a real serious problem because the Supreme Court has established law. They have established rules and policies and laws never even contemplated by the founders, the framers, or any legislature from the beginning of time until today, never supported by any president or presidential candidate. They have created these policies with the Santa Clara County versus Southern Pacific Railroad case, with Buckley versus Vallejo, with Citizens United, with McCutcheon, with a whole variety of these cases that have taken away the ability of the American people to actually have a functioning democracy, and instead we're stuck with Jimmy Carter's oligarchy, or what Jimmy Carter described as an oligarchy, and he was right. Joe, I got to move along, but thank you for the call. Thank you.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here, and please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.